Hey guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today we're gonna work with the vanilla vine because, yes, she has finally outgrown her little rod there. And not only, we have another cutting of it starting to reach the top as well. The rod is actually pretty heavy and it's tilting my pot. As you can see, very unstable. I'm a little nervous, so let's just keep it like that. I don't have a proper place for her because of this rod. It always needs to lean on something and I have it leaning on one of my walls, but that's not okay when I wet the rod. So I need to find another home for this one, and I have an idea. Not sure if it's gonna work, but I will definitely try in this video to make it happen. So what I'm going to do is to change the pot because I just want to make everything even. I want to use a white pot for this orchid. I will change the medium as well, and I will keep it terrestrial. As you can see, last year I've used a terrestrial orchid mix, which was not a terrestrial orchid mix. It was advertised for Phalaenopsis, but it's dreadful because it has peat moss. However, this orchid did very well in it. The vanilla vine actually has a terrestrial side, which is the base usually. It anchors herself in soils, and an epiphytic side, which you can clearly see, she produces roots along her stem epiphytically to attach to trees. So I do want to maintain this setup, and I will pot her up in my current preferred mix, which let's just talk about. Let's see what it is. This is what I'm using for Hoyas as well right now, and it works beautifully. So I have here a combination of stuff. First of all, I have sphagnum peat moss. So I have equal parts of this soil and a generic bark mixture for orchids. I find compo around here, but pretty much it will work with any type of bark. I use bark because it offers a lot of drainage. So I have equal parts of these two and also perlite. I'm not sure how much perlite I have in here. I threw in 5 or 6 handfuls of perlite. And this mixture works absolutely fantastic for Hoyas, and it's pretty similar with what I had my vanilla in, minus the perlite. I was very tempted to try semi-hydroponics, but my vanilla is doing so well in this mixture, and I do know people who struggle a little bit with vanillas that, you know, maybe I just got lucky to find the proper mix from the first try. I just don't want to spoil that right now. No matter how much I like semi-hydro, I don't like it that much. As the vanilla grows, of course, when she makes offshoots, I can cut them and experiment with them. But right now, I'm more interested in keeping the 2 cuttings that I have healthy. Alrighty, so now let me tell you what I want to do. I want to put 2 stakes, practically make a sort of a trellis made out of 2 stakes. And I also want to disassemble this rod. If you take a close look, you can see the coconut fiber, which by the way did not decompose and is really nice. It doesn't smell bad. It actually, at some point, it smelled like vanilla. It wasn't the plant, it was the rod. So this coconut fiber is really great. I have it for a year, no sign of decomposition, smells beautiful, I like it. So I want to disassemble the coconut rod and keep the coconut coir. You can see it is held on the rod by string. So theoretically, if I remove the string, I should be able to remove the coconut fiber as well, and this will also help me with the roots of the vanilla. I don't want to destroy them, so I don't want to detangle them. Whatever coconut fiber is caught on the roots, it's just gonna sit there. So pretty much I want a trellis covered in this thing. If I will succeed, I really don't know, but we need to try. Okay, so this is the pot that I'm going to use, and I need it right now because I want to see how wide I need to make these stakes. You might remember these ones. I did trellises with them for the Hoyas as well. They're some sort of aluminium stakes. They are coated with a sort of plastic coat. They have a spike at one end, which goes into the soil, and a stopper at the other end, and they're pretty tall. They're actually really great. And I don't have the Hoya trellises that I made last year available because I use the stakes with other very tall orchids, such as the epidendrums. They're very good for epidendrums or very tall dendrobiums. And this is a little strange to do on camera, but I will try. It sits only with one hand, so you can see how sturdy this little knot here made my whole trellis. Now, of course, along the height, we're gonna have some more ties between these 2 stakes to make it even more stable. And yet again, I am going to use my raffia tape. So that's what we're gonna do now, and here is where the pot is needed. Because if I don't have the pot, I could make the ties like this, and they would not fit the pot anymore, right? So I need to maintain the stakes in the pot in this X shape and put the ties on this length. And of course, I did not film how I made the knots, but I'm not gonna redo them because I'm 1 meter almost away, maybe 19 centimeters away from this weird angle to film at, and my back is killing me. But what I did was just make an initial knot on this one, then went with it on the other one, made another knot, and there we go, it's stable right now. So I'm gonna put another one of these ties on the top to make it even more stable, and I'm gonna come back when I'm done. And here it is, I've strengthened it a little bit more. I put a few more ties here and there. It's not gonna fall down. So it looks pretty good so far. I think it's time to get the vanilla and try to remove that coconut husk from the rod. Oh boy, and where should I start? Maybe I should start at the top. I'm going to cut the wires, or actually the threads that maintain this coconut husk on the rod. And the vanilla doesn't seem to have that much of a long root system, at least the aerial part. So maybe this will be easier than I thought. Okay, actually this one came right off. So with this side I will have no issues. But the problem is this long vine right here. So okay, let's see if she wants to detach easily from this rod. And she does. Yay! So here it is, as I was saying, the root system is not extensive on the aerial part, but it does seem to cling a little bit to things and make the orchid a little bit more stable, but it's just not a very long root system. So here we go. The way to remove it is by cutting a section of it and then just pull it away. Now at this point you might say, but Danny, why didn't you buy separate coconut coir or husk? Simple, I didn't find any. I looked, I thought about it, don't worry. So yeah, I'm just gonna reuse this. It's perfectly good. It's just gonna take a while. Let's see if I can rip, oh yeah, I can. There we go, I can rip it from this rod. So I'm gonna do this for a while and come back when I'm done. Okay, so one side is done. It was not hard at all and it was quite fast. It was just kind of messy as well. So let me show you really fast how I did it. First of all, you need quite a lengthy tape or thread, whatever you're gonna work with if you ever decide to do this. And this is because I started from the bottom and then swirled the tape on the stake and made another knot at the top. So first thing is to secure the raffia tape at the bottom. Oh, and this is a little harder because I already have some coconut fiber here. But what I did was just tie it. Afterwards, we're gonna take some coconut fiber and just start to place it. So this is the base. It's gonna look a little weird anyway, but that's okay. And then we're gonna continue this procedure further up. So let's go ahead and do that. And at the top, I decided to let the stake show a little bit because I wanted to make the knots properly. So how do you make the knots? Easy. You swirl the tape around a little bit and then make a loop, catch the tail, and there you go, a knot. Let's show this again with your finger. Make a loop and make the tail go through the loop. Ta-da! Okay, so my trellis is kind of finished, but you're gonna see it a little later. Time to unpot the vanilla. And I'm not entirely sure how to do this, but I'll just try to make the soil and the root system just come out of the pot on their own. We might have an extensive root system here. This is a big root system and it's fuzzy. The vanilla orchid has very fuzzy roots. Okay, I'm surprised that the roots didn't come out from the bottom actually, because look at this. Quite a nice root system, huh? It attaches very fast, as you could see if I was in frame. There you go. And there we are. So my pretty vanilla has a very nice root system. This orchid was a happy orchid and I managed not to mess up the root system almost at all. Did I break any roots? I broke one root. But that's okay. It's an acceptable ratio. Alrighty, so I need to put this aside right now because I will be using fresh medium and a new pot. Okay, so I will be using this lovely pot, which was sent to me by one of you guys from the dollar store. This came from the USA. It's so sad we don't have dollar stores here in Cyprus, or at least I'm not aware of them. Back in Romania, we kind of did. We had something. Because this orchid has an extensive root system, I will not fill the pot all the way up, maybe not even half. So I filled it about a third of the way up, maybe a little less than a third. And I think that's about as high as I can go. Now it's time to add my little rod here, which is kind of shedding, but it's okay, she's gonna calm down at some point in the future. Oh boy, this will be tricky. Okay, so you stay here. Now it's time to get my orchid. So this is one of the cuttings. The cuttings are separate. They were two separate plants, no worries. And I'm just gonna let it rest like this for now. And the second cutting, the big girl, oh my. No, leave your sister alone. I think this is how I'm gonna arrange it. I'm gonna let her rest here. I have some stuff on my table. I'm not good with decluttering, you guys, but right now it's helping me stabilize my vanilla, as you can see. Alrighty, so now let us fill in with medium. And now another thing is to you know what? I'm gonna remove this rod. I don't need it right now. I will have to make it straight in the pot anyway. Okay, so at this point we're kind of good. We can stop now and add the trellis, mount the orchid on the trellis, of course, and then we'll see if we need to add more soil. I am going to already attach my wire here. There you go. So this will make things easier, I think, I hope. Let's see. The vanilla is not a light orchid. It's quite the heavy vine. But this truly helped. Look at this. Okay, yet again, I'm not tying this very, very tight, but just making sure I do make a few knots here, because vanillas are very succulent. The stem itself is very succulent, and looking at it, I feel it's so easy to just snap it. And there we go. Now, as you can see, this is a tall orchid, yes. But right now, I can try to make it go in this direction at least. I have to tell you that in the pictures that I saw with the vanilla on the internet, it appears to me that she seems to grow and then flop over under her own weight. That's okay, because if she can do this on this trellis, it's perfect. And yeah, I think this will work. All I need to do now is water the baby, and that's it. Okay, so the vanilla is sitting in my Vanda corner. Vandas are being watered right now, together with my other tall babies. She will receive quite a lot of light. Right now it's really early morning. This is a southern window, and starting from 11 o'clock right now, she's gonna get a lot of sunlight. So she's gonna be happy. And I finally have available the other corner, which was occupied by her, and it was always very scary because that rod really needed to be supported by something. Otherwise, it would have fallen and snapped my vanilla stem. So alrighty guys, this has been it for today. As you can see, she's getting very, very tall. What I believe will happen is she will start to still grow, but at some point she will get very heavy and she will start to flop, case in which I'll start to mount her yet again on this trellis. It's a lot better than the rod because it is lighter. So until next time that she will need some help, this will have to do. So alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. And you know the drill. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for regular orchids and plants videos. I post 5 times a week, but I take a break on Wednesdays and Thursdays. If you cannot be bothered to remember that, just turn on notifications. YouTube will let you know the minute that I upload something new. And with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye. Okay, you guys, I need to show you something. This is my Nicosia. You know, she had a flower spike. Well, turns out this is not the actual bud. It contains the bud, but it's actually a sheath. Remember, my sheath was munched by spider mites and it had those really nasty spots? Well, it's just a sheath, it's not the bud, yay! And here's the bud. Not sure how it appears on camera and how the colors transfer, but the Nicosia has a really red center. It has a white flower with a beautiful dark red center. And already I can see the center through the bud. And yeah, it doesn't really transfer well on camera, but in reality, it's the most beautiful rosy, orangish type of color. Oh, I'm so excited for this bud. And looky here, together with the bud in that sheath, there's another sheath which will continue to grow. It will develop a bud inside and another sheath, and so on. This is a sequential bloomer, you guys. Sadly, yeah, the new leaf was a little affected until I treated the spider mites, but yeah, further down it looks okay. Sadly, this orchid doesn't have a good luck with spider mites, but I'm taking care of it, don't you worry.